Ever wondered why we say trick or treat on Halloween? It has a captivating history dating back centuries and crossing continents. Our journey begins in the 19th century with Irish and Scottish children celebrating Halloween by playing harmless pranks on their neighbors. From blowing cabbage smoke through keyholes to carving ghoulish faces into turnips, these tricks were all part of the Halloween fun. When these children immigrated to the US, they brought their mischievous traditions with them, and Americans were all too happy to join in. Over time, Halloween hijinks escalated, especially during the Great Depression. But it wasn't all about the tricks. Treats played a significant part in Halloween traditions too. In the Middle Ages, people would go door to door on All Souls' Day, offering prayers for the dead in return for food or money, in a tradition known as souling. A similar custom from 19th century Scotland called guising involved exchanging jokes or songs for goodies. Although a direct link between these traditions and modern treat begging isn't confirmed, the practice of visiting neighbors for an edible handout around Halloween has been a staple of the holiday for centuries. The phrase trick or treat itself may have originated in Canada in the early 20th century. The earliest known written references to trick or treat come from Canadian newspapers in the 1920s. By 1927, children were using the phrase themselves, demanding edible plunder at their neighbors' doors. The tradition of trick-or-treating was briefly interrupted during World War II due to sugar rationing, but by the early 1950s, it was back in full swing, thanks in part to the endorsement of popular culture characters like the Peanuts Gang and Donald Duck. To summarize, the phrase trick or treat has its roots in the 19th century Halloween traditions of Irish and Scottish immigrants in America. It combines the historical elements of Halloween mischief with the custom of door-to-door treat begging. The phrase was likely coined in Canada in the early 20th century and gained widespread popularity by the 1950s, thanks to pop culture and candy companies. Nowadays, the treat part of trick or treat has largely overtaken the trick part. But remember, if you ever find a piece of rank cabbage in your Halloween candy stash, you've been on the receiving end of a time-honored Halloween trick.